everyone, we are going to discuss a PgMP scenario in this video. This scenario is tricky for the reason that it belongs to stakeholder analysis and engagement, which is quite an exciting and confusing area in the exam. And so is this scenario. So let me read out the scenario first, and then we are going to discuss with option choices. A three-year complex program to develop an autopilot system for a new electric car is in progress. Several of the key stakeholders are concerned because they do not know enough information about the program and they have not been involved regularly in the program. Also, they don't understand the program benefits. What is the first thing the program manager should do to handle the stakeholders' concern? A, send them a progress report after next week's status meeting. B, identify the stakeholder expectations and update the stakeholder engagement plan. C, revise the communication management plan after discussion with the program governance board. And D, meet with the key stakeholders and update the stakeholder map. So when I posted this question on my regular Thursday PgMP post, around 60% were in favor of option B by saying that this is clearly a miss on the stakeholder engagement ground and engagement plan should be updated with the right strategies and all, which is understandable, but there is a context behind this question. So I'm going to discuss about it, followed by D, option D, where 21% of the participants were inclined towards that option and the rest were in favor of option C and D. So yes, I agree. The correct answer is between option B and option D. So what is the situation over here? The situation is pretty understandable that you are working on a complex program and there are many stakeholders in there and several of the several of the stakeholders are not happy, not engaged because they do not have enough information. They are not involved in the program related conversations and meetings. And they do not know where the program is going and how the program is delivering benefits and all. So if I speak in a more PMI language, I would say from an stakeholder engagement viewpoint, they are unaware. Some of them are unaware, some of them are resistant. And those some are actually like collectively several. Now, this is definitely a concern. This is not a good news to any program because if most of the stakeholders are not happy with your program, then who is actually going to support the program? Who is actually going to support the program objectives and program outcomes? Program manager alone cannot do this. Program managers needs the support and support and cooperation, collaboration of the stakeholders. Like this is exactly the concept of stakeholder engagement, that if not all, then at least most of the stakeholders are supportive, positive, ideally leading towards the program objectives and outcomes, which is clearly not the case in this scenario. So in this situation, multiple things can be done to bring the stakeholders' interest in the program back on track. But the question is asking the first and the foremost thing to do by the program manager to address the stakeholders' concern. Let me quickly rule out A and C, because those are definitely not the answer, at least to the scenario. A, send them a progress report after next status meeting. It's not only about sending the progress, it's about engaging them. Only a status meeting minutes or a progress report is not going to solve their queries. It's not going to answer on all of the questions that they have, right? They want some kind of protocol, some kind of behavior from the program manager and the management team in a way that they feel engaged, they feel valued, they feel appreciated, which is not the case and which is not going to be fulfilled with option A. Why not C? Because this question is not about the stakeholders' complaints related to communication. This question is about their disconnect from the program. Like they don't feel connected to the program. They don't understand where the program is moving. They don't understand what's happening in the program. They don't understand why they are needed or how they can contribute to the program. They don't feel, connected to that. So C is about communication, which is like nowhere in the question it's about like a mention of the communication. So C is also up. Now between B and D, very close. B and D are actually very close. So both of the options talk about stakeholder identification, analysis, engagement, getting them associated with the program. So which one is the first thing to do in this situation? So see, if you don't know the option choices, if you only know the scenario, and you know that most of the stakeholders are concerned because they are feeling left out, they don't know where the program is moving, nobody's guiding them the right direction. So what probably would you do as a manager? You definitely would find a platform, a mechanism to sit with them, to have a word with them. You are going to find the right mechanism of elicitation in this case. Maybe via interviewing, maybe via brainstorming, maybe via discussion, focus group, questionnaires, whatever works. If there are too many number, maybe questionnaires or maybe surveys. But some form of elicitation is needed. Some form of categorization is needed because the stakeholders are too many in number. So maybe you would need to categorize them, to place them in the right order of power, interest, influence, urgency, legitimacy, and all as well. You need to understand their needs. You need to understand their concerns. You need to understand that what is the actual problem to perform the root cause, and then only you will be in a position to come up with the engagement strategy. So if I map the scenario to any of my PgMP delegate, that he comes to me saying that if I don't know what's happening, I'm not following, this course is not working for me, I'm not getting the right direction, I'm not really following, I'm not getting the right help. So what would I do? Would I directly go to the engagement plan and update that what do I do to fix this? Of course, I would do this, but as a later step. The first step, probably what I would do is to understand the problem, which is like he's not engaged with the process, and then sit with him, interviewing him to understand the cause of the problem as well. Like, what's the cause of the problem? Like, which is exactly the same thing as performing RCA via cause and effect diagram or Ishikawa diagram. Like, if the process is not working, or if the experience is not rightly mapped to this skill set, or maybe he needs like more one-on-one conversation. I mean, it could be any cause. Like whatever is not working, I will first understand that. I will understand the needs, expectations, and for that I need to meet that stakeholder in any capacity. Maybe it could be an in-person meetup, it could be a virtual meetup, it could be a group meetup, it could be an offline meetup, but whatever the case is, I am going to meet that stakeholder first, sit with them, get their requirements, map those requirements in a connected order, organize those stakeholders in proper categories, ideally via stakeholder map using power interest grid or power influence grid or salience model or direction of influence or whatever tool, maybe some elicitation tool as well. And then I will connect everything together in a way that it starts making sense so that I could come up with the right engagement strategy, right? This is the process. So B is the best fit for this. Why not B? Identify the stakeholder expectations, like this first part is okay to answer as a first thing. However, updating the stakeholder engagement, no. Only identifying the expectations and needs and then you update the engagement is not the right order. You identify and understand the stakeholder needs and expectations. You you usually map that on any of the stakeholder mapping tool as recommended by PMI. You get the right priority and categorization of your stakeholders along with their needs and expectations, and then you come up with the stakeholder engagement planning, because this is quite a possibility that some of the stakeholders have the same or similar needs and expectations, and they probably are going to qualify for the same group, and their strategy is also going to be same or similar. Usually, we do not come up with like the personalized individual stakeholder engagement strategies. Could also not be the case, but for that, stakeholder mapping is needed. So D followed by B is the right step. So the first thing is D followed by B. So you know your stakeholders already. Then you analyze and you understand and categorize your stakeholders, ideally on a stakeholder map, which is any of the PMI's stakeholder mapping tool, as I mentioned. Power interest is the most popular one. Salience is also very popular. Stakeholder cube is also a unique tool. Like I said, you could use any elicitation mechanism if that works. And then when you have the right data in the right order and with the right connect available, then you come up with the engagement strategy. You can't directly have the engagement strategy without the right stakeholders. Data is not available to you. I hope you like this explanation. D is the right answer to this question. If you have any queries, do let me know. Feel free to drop that in the comment area. Feel free to connect with me over WhatsApp or LinkedIn, and I definitely will have a word with you to answer your queries. Please do subscribe our channel so that you get to know about the useful material that we share every week. Also like this video, and do let me know that if you want us to come up with any particular topics related to PGM. I will be back very soon with a new PgMP scenario. Till then, take care. Goodbye.